I'm going to talk to you today about vision. If you're looking for what page is John on, it's usually one of the things that gets shared in the chat. I'm going to be pages 77 through 81. All right, point number one. Did I say Tuesday? Somebody said Wednesday and made a laughing face. So I think I might have said Tuesday. Okay, so the first step to creating breakthroughs is to craft a great vision. If you are hitting a ceiling, and we're going to go to whiteboard already, and the ceiling conversation in MREA is what?
E to P.
E to P, nice work. And E is entrepreneurial. It's what we do naturally. P is purposeful. If we're hitting a ceiling, what the author is saying is in order to have breakthroughs, we need vision. In other words, if you don't have a reason to break through the ceiling, you're probably not going to break through the ceiling. And what we learned from Gary Keller when he's teaching E to P is hitting that ceiling creates frustration. It creates resignation. And the next thing that happens is we start looking for greener pastures. In other words, it's not working here, maybe I'll go there. And all of a sudden, everything's going to change for me. No, it won't. So all the problems that you have, they follow you. Because guess what? The one common thing is in that equation. You. So you goes with you, problems go with you. All right, soapbox. The first step to creating breakthroughs is to craft a great vision. The next point that I want to make is vision is critical because there will be days when you just won't feel like taking action on your plan. Now, in order to take action on your plan, what do you need first?
A plan.
Thank you.
On it today.
You have to have a plan.
Fire.
And how many people do you think have a plan? Say very few. Very few. If we were driving, Aaron, you were just in Los Angeles, right? Yeah, okay. So if we were driving from Miami to Los Angeles, first of all, I don't know why anybody would want to do that, but okay. If we were, okay, stop. Bunny trail. If we were driving from Miami to Los Angeles, and I said, okay, Teresa, we're going to leave in a week, and we're going to drive from Miami to Los Angeles. Now, we can either just get in the car and kind of head in that direction.
Nope, not gonna do that.
Or we can create a plan.
Yeah. Go out and get the maps and create a plan.
Okay, so we would get maps, and what else would we do?
Create a plan.
Create a plan. What does that look like?
Where are we gonna stop?
Where are we going to stop? Do we need to make hotel reservations in advance? Okay. Should we maybe make sure the car is going to make it?
Oh, absolutely.
So maybe we're going to go take the car and have a tune-up and check the tires and make sure that the oil's good. Because if the car blows up in Tallahassee, are we going to make it to Los Angeles?
Mexico.
Or okay. Now,
Oh my God.
let's just say for a moment that Los Angeles is closed 36 sales. That's the designation. And we're going to start next week. What's the plan? Most real estate agents don't have one. And if they do have one, they leave out a lot of important steps. And here's my point. In order to do the work that is in your plan, first, you have to have a plan. To help you stay on track, you will need a powerful reason why. So if we're driving from Miami to Los Angeles, we better have a really good reason why. because it's going to become difficult. It's going to be boring. And if I don't have a reason to get to Los Angeles, first of all, I'm never going to start. And secondly, I'm going to give up really easily. Now, Los Angeles has closed 36 sales. If you don't have a powerful reason why, you're going to be tempted to give up. Matter of fact, most people do give up. Maddie, I know I keep looking at you, but I don't do that on purpose. You're just in my line. You're in my line, and you're in my line of sight.
And I need to hear it, so it's good.
True success will happen when people bound by a common vision work together for a common outcome. True success happens when people are bound together by a common vision, work together for a common outcome. So who's going on this trip with you? What's your vision for that group? Are you working together, or are you in that car fighting over who gets to drive, hitting one another over the head in order to be able to hold the map in your hands? Or are you working together? Terrible example, I know. The most powerful visions address and align your personal aspirations with your professional dreams. So this vision has to be driven by your personal aspirations. If the vision is to close, if the goal is to close 36 sales, that's not enough to create breakthroughs. You need to know, what is that going to do for you? If the average commission check is $10,000, this creates $360,000. What changes in your life if I come put $360,000 in front of you right now? What are you going to do different that you're currently not doing? Who are you going to help? What would you do with that money for your children, for your family, for you? What changes? That personal aspiration drives your professional vision. Personal comes before professional. It's critically important. All right, the next thing that I want you to write down, my next major point, is move from impossible to possible to probable to given. Here's what happens. When we imagine a future that is significantly bigger than our current reality, we can begin to think that it is impossible for us. This is the destination. And when we begin a journey, we have unrealistic optimism, which turns into realistic pessimism. In other words, we see this as sunshine and rainbows and unicorns, and life is amazing. We're on our way until we start hitting ceilings. We get rejected. We hit roadblocks. We're not seeing success. And then all of a sudden, we start to see all of the reasons why this won't work. And we're going to end up in a valley of despair. This is where most people quit, or they make a U-turn and go back. Unless we have a powerful vision to drive us and keep us going when, oh, I spelled that wrong. Oh, yeah. When things get tough, that leads to confirmed optimism. In other words, we start to see reasons why this will work. We're moving from impossible to possible to probable to given. Impossible to possible to probable to given. We move from impossible to possible to probable to given. We move from impossible to possible to probable to given. But we don't make it past impossible unless we have a powerful vision that's driving us. Don't ask how would I do this at the beginning of the journey. Because if you knew the answer to how, wouldn't you already be doing it? You're not going to find the answer to how at the beginning of the journey. The better question at the beginning of the journey is what if? What if I accomplished this, whatever that aspirational vision is? What if, not how, because if you knew the answer to how, you would have already been doing it, right, Felipe? You would have already been doing it. You would already have it. So you don't know the answer to how. Eventually, though, you're going to ask how. And when you ask how is when you get to possible. Ask how when you get to possible. Okay, I can do this. I can see that I can see it's possible. I'm starting to believe in this vision. I'm no longer in impossible. Now I'm in possible. Now's the time to ask how. When I begin the journey, it's what if. How is the wrong question. The right question is what if. Until you get to possible, now it's time to ask how. All right, my next major point I want you to write down is the fact that you don't know how to do it creates the perception that it is impossible for you. The fact that you don't know how to do it creates the perception for you that you don't know how to do it.
That's so interesting.
So I'm 59 years old. I use myself as an example. And I'm going to slow down. Shut up, Aaron. I'm going to slow down. I'll be 60 in 2 months, 3 months.
3 months.
Okay.
The day before mine.
So I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm going to slow down and pay attention. I've made a few bad decisions that cost me $500,000. No big deal. Dug myself out of it. 2012, back to even. Life is good. Then Lacey gets sick in 2015 and we lose everything. Everything so much to the point that in 2016, I was faced with either file for bankruptcy or have my bank account, I forget what the word is when the court orders the money to be garnished, have my bank account garnished and my wages. In other words, Keller Williams would send the money directly to the court, right? Those were my options. Bankruptcy or have the courts take whatever money is in your bank account out and have your check sent directly to the courts. True story, right? Okay, so we filed bankruptcy. 6 years. I extended it by a year during COVID. So I'm making payments on that until November of 2023. All right. Life is real. Sometimes it's hard. You won't find me feeling sorry for myself once. I'll dig myself out of this hole. I'll get back to even and I'll make another comeback. I've done it before. I can do it again. Now, one of the questions that I ask myself, okay, is big vision. To have enough income invested, to have enough money invested to fund the rest of my life, should I choose to stop working today. To have enough money invested that if something were to happen to me, if I wasn't here, that Monica and the kids would be okay without me. To have that home that I own on the water with that 48-foot Hatteras sitting behind it. It's still my dream. I still want it. I still want all of these things. And yet, the fact that you don't know how to do it creates the perception that it is impossible for you. I've had conversations with myself that go something like, John, that will just never happen for you. You hear me? The fact that you don't know how to do it creates the perception that it is impossible for you. For you. John, that just may never happen for you. By asking what if, you give yourself permission to entertain the possibility and begin to connect with the benefits. So, ask better questions. Have better conversations with yourself. Be a better friend to yourself. Rather than, John, that just may never happen for you. Why not, what if? What if I could do that? What if I could create $2 million in savings that is there to protect my family should anything happen to me? What if I could have that home that I want to have? What if I could do everything else that I want to do, be everything that I want to be, versus, John, that just may never happen for you. So just because I'm 60 years old and my perception was time is running out, it may never happen for me. Better perception. Screw that. It's going to happen for me. What if? All right, talk to me. What'd you hear?